We can all be messy bitches every once in a while. In fact, there are several types of messes that any one person can be at any given time. Whether that means an emotional mess, a drunk mess, a hot mess, or a crisp mess. We've all been there in one way or another. But there's one particular type of mess that I'd like to talk about today. It's the mess that you might most frequently envision when you think of that term or when you hear the word mess. You might even call it the OG mess. So what is it? Clutter. Yes, clutter. I'm making a video about clutter and sobriety. Hopefully you're intrigued enough at this point to at least see how the I am going to connect these two seemingly unrelated things. Is your room, apartment, or car a mess right now? That's okay, no judgment. But in this video, I'm gonna make the case for why you should tidy up now that you're sobered up, or now that you're considering sobering up, or whatever. We're all on different journeys, blah, 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 blah. So in the next 10 minutes or so, I'm gonna tell you about all the different ways I've been a mess in the past and how decluttering has been a game changer, my friends. We're gonna look at the ways clutter and decluttering affects our brain, aka our mental health or our sobriety. And as always, I'll share with you guys one quick exercise you can do today, right after this video, to start or continue the decluttering process. So make sure to watch until the very end, or else. Hello everyone, I'm the demon under your bed that keeps you from plugging your phone into the wall at night, Allie. I'm also the creator and host of Young, Dumb, and Sober, the channel where I attempt to spread the message that sobriety is fun. The scariest part, I actually believe that.
Ah! That's a scary mask, bro.
And if you don't, you can just head the out. The door's that way. I'm just kidding. You should still stick around. But if you do believe that, subscribe to this channel so you can help me spread the message by joining the Young, Dumb, and Sober community. Also hit the bell so you get notifications every time I upload new content. And follow me on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, everything, really. Head over to youngdumbandsober.com if you want to get some YDS swag, and that is all of the things that I need to say. Got it? Great. You're watching another dumb, quick tip. Let's clean your messy ass up. As somebody diagnosed with ADHD, among many other things, I'm no stranger to mess. Actually, mess has always kind of been my automatic level of functioning. And I use the word functioning lightly. I mean, I was just always super disorganized, never could keep track of my stuff, lose important items and documents, and would just sort of lay around in my own disaster for days on end. I will say that life got easier once I found my second love, stimulants. Alcohol was the first, but only until it eventually got a lot harder, because obviously I started abusing the stimulants. And you can watch my video about that here. This is why we can't have nice things. At that point, my room and my car and behind my TV and every crevice that I could get my eye on might have been clean, but everything else was a mess. Anyway, when I was active, meaning using drugs and alcohol, I was always really overwhelmed, just a general feeling of being overwhelmed by literally life. So doing things like cleaning or decluttering or reorganizing my space, it just wasn't really on my radar. Or better yet, it was on my radar, but I felt unable to do anything about it, which for me just led to more shame and anxiety, which I had more than enough already. And I felt that shame and anxiety not only because I felt incapable of doing what seemed like very minuscule and simple tasks, but also because the messiness around me in itself was literally causing more anxiety. Literally, you say? Yes, literally. And I say that in the way that dictionary defines literally, not just because I'm a white female saying it. According to a bunch of research, messiness, clutter, disorganization, all that shit can absolutely contribute to anxiety. And again, when I was using, part of the reason I was doing that is because I was self-medicating my anxiety, which I know is a big reason that other substance abusers abuse substances. It might sound trite, but a messy environment can definitely contribute to the negative emotions that pile up and eventually among the fodder of reasons we have for getting f***ed up. So you know where we're going now, right? Science. So there's a link between clutter anxiety, and depression. There's also a link between anxiety, depression, and drug and alcohol abuse. So it makes sense that there is either an indirect or direct link between disorganization, declutter, and chemical dependency or substance abuse. Perhaps, did I just hypothesize something? At its very worst, disorganization can hijack your quality of life and lead to feelings of negativity and a lack of a sense of control. Two of the feelings us folks love to drink and use act. Based on a study done by researchers at the Princeton Neuroscience Institute, sounds very fancy, clutter actually makes it more difficult for us to focus. And part of the freedom that comes from letting go of drugs and alcohol and getting sober is the mental clarity that we're often gifted with. It would just be a shame to negate that newfound clarity and mental freedom by, I don't know, leaving several bottles and glasses of water in your room.
Water sucks. Gatorade is better. What?
Or letting your laundry pile up for a week and a half. Not only that, but the research also found that clutter actually makes it more difficult to process information. And so the act of information processing works in the brain in a similar way that a computer does. Just like a computer, the human brain takes information, organizes it, and stores it to be retrieved at a later time. So when our environment is harming our ability to do this, process information correctly and accurately, we're basically setting ourselves up to operate from a place of foggy confusion. Not a great foundation for sustained sobriety, am I right? On another note, you've probably heard of the concept of people, places, and things, which refers to the environmental stimuli that have the potential to lead us to drink or use drugs or go back into any kind of old behavior by igniting similar sensations in the mind and the body from when we used to be active. Believe it or not, all of that still stands even when it comes to your own space. Meaning your apartment, your car, your work, whatever it might be. I mean, think of how much shit has piled up in our space throughout our addiction that share the four walls around us. Old pictures, old clothes, dusty decor, perhaps some paraphernalia. Those things are taking up space and potentially building a kind of wall between you and an environment that's more inclusive to your recovery or sobriety. And if you're not convinced that cleaning up your space or decluttering can be an asset to sobriety, I don't know what to tell you. I'm a trusted source. I guess go call Marie Kondo. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Marie?
Marie, she the best.
Or go call Marie Kondo, and I'm sure she can whip your ass in shape.
I love her.
For now, let's turn to our fun little exercise to begin or continue our journey of decluttering for sobriety. Okay, ready? Open your junk drawer. I know you have one. You know the one, the disastrous black hole that becomes the home to all things miscellaneous that enters our perimeter. Look into that bad boy and choose one object, one measly object to throw away. I don't give a what it is. Just make sure before you throw it out, you've taken a mindful moment to consider whether or not it's deserving of the space that you've been giving it, no matter how inconsequential it might seem. Another rule of thumb, if you haven't used something in like 3 months, you probably don't need it. If that felt good for you, hey, why not continue? Throw something else out. Maybe you'll clean out the whole junk drawer. It's doubtful. Maybe you have a junk cabinet like I did. Either way, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Decluttering and cleaning out yourself can absolutely aid in your mental health and your sobriety, but that doesn't mean you should stress yourself out over getting it all done at once. If you're anything like my messy ass, it'll probably take you a little while. Okay, everyone, that's been today's episode. Do me a favor and subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment below about your favorite cleaning or decluttering exercise. I love to clean to Kim Petras. That's mine. It's been real, it's been fun, and it's been real fun.